welcome to Mind Your Business, the channel where we are in everybody's business. If you don't mind getting in people's business, you're on the right channel. Talking about current topics and gossip. Now, every time I watch this show, I tell you, I love it more and more because it just cracks me up. Phaedra is such a good addition to Married to Medicine. I feel like she just brings the drama and the gags, and she's just hilarious. She's absolutely hilarious. So let's get into it. Well done, most people, my inquisitive crew. Let's talk about Married to Medicine, because Phaedra, she had me busting up this episode. Not only was she cracking up with the faces that she was pulling when, she went to go and see Quad, and then Heavenly comes to visit her, and they're having Quad and Heavenly having a little, heart-to-heart moment. Quad letting Heavenly know that she felt away when she, seemed to have dropped her out a little bit and started posting up a picture with her and Sweet Tea, and you've got Heavenly trying to check Quad about the fact that she kind of dropped out all the other ladies and, pops up when she wants to, basically. And then you've got Phaedra out in the middle just munching her melon and just looking back and forth, pulling the most hilarious faces. So, that had me cracking up. But later on in the show, obviously, you've got Phaedra cracking up again when she's giving out her mystery invites to her event that she's throwing. And she's very extra anyway. She's always been extra from Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's always been very extra. So, of course, she comes out looking very fabulous, getting a black car. She's got a guy all dressed in black going to knocking people's doors with a suitcase, chatting about, open the suitcase. And that was hilarious in itself. Dr. Jackie cracked me up chatting about AI. And then you've got Toya thinking like, how did you even get in the block, basically. And then you've got Dr. Heavenly, who would crack me up the most because she is going on like, who the hell is at her door? She just about opened the door, then she shut the door, then she's acting like the man has a bomb in a suitcase. So I was just cracking up. But, it was very Phaedra, and I like that addition to it. Although I don't feel like Jackie necessarily likes it. I always look at Jackie like she's side-eyeing Phaedra like, oh, she's bringing that Real Housewife stuff to the show. But yes, this is what's needed to the show because I actually like it. Now, we also see Toya having Sweet Tea over and Simone over for dinner and a little, IV shots while they're kind of catching up on Sweet Tea's honeymoon and how that went. And she shares that, she came on her monthly and she was not long on her monthly. So, is it stress? And Simone says, irregular bleeding can be quite serious. And of course, while they're talking, Sweet Tea sees the invite from Phaedra and then they soon realise that she wasn't invited. So at this point is where they seem to concoct that Sweet Tea should, come and crash the party. And she does. She attends with Toya and Simone. So at this big old ceremony that she's invited everyone to, so everyone's all dressed up in black as she told them to. And why is she having this bloody event at a funeral home? This is hilarious. I was like, what? At midnight at a funeral home? Nah, I've been telling them to turn the car back around. What kind of dark foolishness is going on over here? But anyway, they get there. It's absolutely hilarious. The show had me cracking up the whole time. You've got Phaedra, who's coming down, dressed in a black, looks like a wedding gown. Phaedra's very extra. She's at the pulpit giving it all her extra sermon talk. And then, of course, dramatics. Then the casket comes in. Everyone's looking like, what the hell is going on? Their faces were cracking me up. But who pops out of the casket? Of course, it is Quad. Although I would have liked it to be Mariah because I feel like Mariah needs to come back to the show. But no, it's Quad. And what makes me laugh also, when Phaedra's doing her sermon, isn't she? She's calling out the fact that she didn't invite Sweet Tea. I was like, she really fit that in there. But I was just talking about, you didn't invite Sweet Tea, you weren't invited. That had me cracking up. But then she said, like the Phoenix, and she kind of rolled it into what the theme was. So the so-called Phoenix, or the rising from the dead, was Quad. She pops out of the casket, very, very dramatic. And, trying to say, basically, let's hash everything out, to all the ladies that she's been having issues with. But again, Quad was not being accountable. Rather than her coming out and just saying, sorry, ladies, I have been distant, or I've not been, checking in and out. Because she does sound, she just pops in now. I think she forgets what she's done as well. Because at last season's reunion, she was definitely on smoke. And she was definitely throwing shade at a lot of the women on the show. So I feel like she has short-term memory loss, because you can't expect, because you pop out of a casket and say, let's hash it out, everybody, and let's get back to being a sisterhood, that everyone's just gonna concede. That's not how it goes. And Toya definitely checks her and lets her know that that's not necessarily how it's going to go. Now, what also had me cracking up at this funeral was Sweet Tea and Heavenly. Not those two trying to go at it. Obviously, Sweet Tea still vexed with her from the wedding. But yeah, I was just like, Sweet Tea, Heavenly, you know, I don't think that she just runs her mouth. She'll go there with you, particularly when you mention her husband. Yeah, just don't do it. It was cracking me up because not Dr. Heavenly within like 0.2 seconds talking about you got daddy issues and this is why you married this man. I was like, Lord. All she did was mention her husband, you know, chatting about how she said that she went upside her husband with a pen at his head or something like that. But Dr. Heavenly was not having it. And it looked like it was about to brawl in the funeral home. I was like, no, can you not be doing this? That they moved from, you know, the pews to go and have dinner. And the dinner was hilarious too, because you've just got Phaedra sitting there munching her food while all madness is taking place. Because I thought to myself, why is Quad even sitting next to Toya? This is not really a good look. You've got Simone or somebody who starts it off and says, well, what do you think you can do to move things forward? And Toya lets her know that basically, you know, the way she spoke about her family, calling her a thief and implying that that she's a thief, which was really bad, and implying that she had an affair with someone in the neighborhood was dangerous to her marriage, obviously. So she's heated, and I get it. So she's rightfully heated. Then you've got Quad talking and pointing her fingers. At one point, you can see Toya pushing her hand back. You've got Phaedra coming up to try and separate it. That bit was hilarious to me, but I thought, yeah, they shouldn't have been sitting next to each other. That dinner was a hot mess, and I think it could have been much better had Quad just been accountable. I think she's definitely missing that word accountability, because she just wants everyone to just act like it's fine, nothing happened. That's not how life works. And then obviously she's upset, talking about, oh, well, you spoke about me sleeping with some contractor. It's just a lot of nonsense. A lot of he said, she said. And I just don't think it was right. And I also know Quad shading, you know, Sweet Tea, talking about she doesn't fit in the group. I'm like, why are you worried about whether she fits in the group? She's married to your ex-husband. These are your friends. I get it. But your ex-husband got brought back onto the show with his new wife. So, you know, it is what it is. Also, I have to say that Sweet Tea definitely is standing on her own business, in the sense that she definitely checked Phaedra when they were eating about her bringing Quad to her, you know, her bachelorette party and it not being the right time. So that's a good on you. And also the fact that she's still speaking up to Heavenly to say that she weren't really feeling her feedback that she's giving on her getting married. So I think good for her for having her voice and, you know, not being scared and not backing down from them. Although I still feel like, you know, she's got to be careful, because by the looks of it, Heavenly was definitely ready to whoop ass. Simone was quite right, because it was definitely going downhill. It was at a funeral home. It was just a lot. Then you've got Toya also sharing that she don't like the way Quad treats people, like she goes on like people are beneath her, and she does give you that air. I'm sorry, she definitely does give that air. Simone, when she suggested that they just end it there, I thought, yeah, that's a good idea, but of course not. Quad is like, oh, actually, I still have a lot more to say. But you've got a lot to say, but you haven't been accountable in your situation. So it's just a hot flipping mess. And like I said, I think she's got a short-term memory, because I remember her shading them a lot. I also remember, you know, them trying to be there for her, and then she's talking about the sister circle girls were there for her, and those are her true people. So she shaded them lots of times on this show. So I don't understand what she's actually thinking there. So Phaedra and Quad together, you know, doing this little stunt was definitely hilarious. I thought it was funny. It was definitely funny, but it didn't really achieve much. I don't feel like anything got quashed per se. I just think next week's going to be interesting, because it looks like they're going to hash it out even more. But even Phaedra looked fed up with it by the end of it, because even she was saying, well, she was hoping that Quad would have humbled herself a bit more, but that's not necessarily how it went. But that also made me laugh too, because you've got Phaedra talking about, yes, you know, being accountable. And I thought, this is interesting, Phaedra, because when you was on Real Housewives, honey, this whole situation with Candy, you wasn't very accountable with that, because if you were, maybe things could have moved forward a bit. But yeah, that wasn't the case. But I take it as the hindsight of, you know, life and living, which is why you take this opinion out. But anyway, what did you think of the show? I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Like, it is fast becoming one of my fave shows at the moment. But what did you guys think of the show? Because I was definitely in stitches, cracking up. Let me know your thoughts below. Yes, so thanks for watching that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I am uploading some more of people's business. So until then, my nosy people, stay blessed.